fan, man.
What do you think of the score?
I think it was a beautiful goal by Asivar in Olympic.
NYFC Fan TV for the fans by the fans. Damn it. Yeah. I'm JT, your butt, and that is Lee. I've never put anything underneath my name, and I just thought I'd act like a 10-year-old because I have one. And Jorge Top Ben Gonzalez.
What's up?
I was trying to do some prep work for the show tonight, and Lee's like, "Nah, man, we just, lots of talk going on." So I'm going to sit back a little bit and let y'all take it over and just jump in as a normal fan, since y'all all in the know about stuff.
Hey man, you guys are already killing me in the chat, man. That's it. Let's keep these FC names going for sure. That's a lot of fun to see how creative our fan base is out there in Charlotte. So before we get going, Adam from Defend the Queen is going to let us do another giveaway with his stuff. You want to enter, it's hashtag Drunk Minty.
Drunk
Hashtag
Minty.
Drunk
Yes,
Minty.
I forgot about
So yeah, I don't know if we really have much to talk about tonight. I mean, not much going on. I mean, the team lost last week, and that was about it. Jorge, you got any new news or anything?
Yeah, bro. Actually, I just found this out like 30 seconds.
Oh, I can do the interpret for him. He said that
It was crazy.
Yeah, I believe you too, man. I'm glad that came through okay. So, anyways, man, let's speculation. That's it. Ah, anyways, I'm gonna try not to read all the comments and laugh before so I can get my thoughts out. But, a lot of stuff going on, right? Yesterday, news broke by Carol, right, mentioning the allegations against Andre. Later today, some more allegations came out to Nunos, right, that he was involved with it as well, or at least he was named in the report, is what it seems like. Jorge, man, let's go ahead. Last night I kind of talked to. I'll let you take the lead this time.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's just, it's like crap after crap, fire after fire. I mean, it is wild. Just the year and a half of this club existing, everything that's gone on. Like, none of this was like, imagine like when we first got hype about the team. You think we would be here a year and a half later with two players linked to a sexual assault case? I mean, it is wild. I mean, yesterday, like you said, Carroll broke Shinyashiki, and then today, The Athletic mentioned that Nuno Santos was also involved. I mean, it makes sense that they're both linked, right? Because when we asked Latanzio about what happened, he mentioned that it was a private matter on both of them, right?
Yeah.
So, to the extent that they're both involved, we're yet to see. So, I mean, this is just the beginning of this story, right? So, it'll be very interesting how it plays out.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, there's been a lot of chatter today, and I've been getting into Twitter wars and Facebook wars with people about how the club handled it. Talking about the trade to Real Salt Lake, and how they were trying to be shady and underarmed and all that kind of stuff.
Lee, don't mess with Facebook, man. You always said don't go to Facebook. You said
Yeah,
Facebook,
but sometimes I've got to at least throw a link or two out there.
all right, so you armored up. You played it up. You're like, all right, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I played it up. The conversation was going pretty heavy by itself, anyways. I just kind of tried to steer the ship on the facts that we know to be true. Again, we say it right. A lot of speculation, and some of the stories were getting way out in left field. As far as I know, I don't. People were mentioning that Adam Armour was involved. I don't believe that to be true. I think the timing that he got let go by the club was definitely bad for him in regards to just being let go and then the story break. So, Jorge, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, I have an idea of why Adam Armour was let go, but I mean, I don't think it's linked to this, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I wouldn't associate him with what's happening now.
Right.
Right.
He's trying to chime in here. Orlando, y'all getting whooped Tuesday. Don't you come in here showing up, man, trying to be all sneaky and stuff. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, no, as far as we know right now, right, only Nuno and Andrea are involved. Hopefully there's no more players that are involved, right? But I just expect the unexpected now with this club, honestly.
No, I mean, if anything, man, that they continue to pump out content for us.
Hey, just time out. Jorge is talking about I expect the unexpected with this club. And you want to just step back and be like, all right, they're going to do some different formation. They're going to do whatever. And he's talking about off the pitch stuff, man. That's where I'm like, what the, and trying to take it just as a more not so in-depth fan. It's like, what do you mean? Okay, they're not starting. So what? They haven't been there for a while. But yeah, when you get into that stuff, it just, it sucks, man. However, I do want to know out there, because this is one of my best points, I think, is how many people are going to give Laddie Daddy Latanzio a little more rope, a little more leeway to now know that he's been dealing with all this shit show on behind the scenes.
See, that's why you should join us out there on the socials, JT, because you could have that argument too.
No, I don't want to. I want you to
It's a very interesting point, though.
It is, it is. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, right? I mean, on the personal level, right? I mean, we could talk about his tactics and his subs all day long, but I mean, you know, nobody could have predicted how the season was going to start, right? I mean, with walks and that happening, and then now this. I mean, that guy's had a lot of distractions off the pitch, right? And trying to, and then like he likes to keep saying about his injuries. I mean, personally, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with depth too and his tactics.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I think you give him a little bit more grace, right? But I still think you hold him accountable for some of the tactical changes he's made. Nobody forced him to put Bronico at left back. Some of the games that we've seen haven't been good enough, and a lot of that is on him,
Yep,
right?
I agree.
So, but then you also give that grain of salt where don't forget this is his first year coaching too.
I was going to make that
Imagine
point.
this is his first full season as a coach, and he's already dealt with the death of a player, players now being linked to sexual assault.
It's not even his first full season. I'm sorry to interrupt, Ray, but it's like the first beginning of a season for him. It's like
but still, I mean, at some point, I mean, the tactics, it's just not working, right? I mean, something has to change, at least on the pitch. I mean, there's all kinds of changes going on outside.
And I think you blame him, and you blame the front office and the technical staff too for the type of squad that they built versus the way they want to play.
Right.
Some of these players just aren't good enough for it.
Yep. No, I agree. With the Blue Mountain State of the MLS. Yes. But again, right?
Too. Imagine if you're not a Charlotte FC fan and you're just a casual, every time we make headlines, it's for something crazy. It's either a coach saying we're screwed, it's either high ticket prices, it's now players being linked to SA charges. It's never you're like, yo, what the heck is going on in PSLs, right?
I'm telling you, it's the PSL curse, man. Whoever said that first, and I can't remember where I heard it from or said, but man, it's from day one, it's been a curse for us. I feel like,
So how do we get rid of the curse? Just get rid of the PSLs? Is that the only way?
That's it, bro.
I mean,
if you get rid of the
exercise the curse,
the omen goes away, bro. Listen, I have 2 Hispanic ladies ready with leaves to come and do their thing at the stadium. They'll throw some holy water, get rid of
shade or whatever, man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, man, I'll try it. But the MLS has got to love us too, right? I mean, because we're bringing all this noise right out there to the world of football, right? And it's bad news. It's not good news.
I think the one good thing is that the fan base shows up here, right?
Sage, sorry, I was thinking of my daughter. Her name's.
I mean, we average still over 30,000 people every home game, right? I mean,
I don't know how true. I mean, do we have 30,000 people coming through the door though? We may have sold 30,000 tickets, but sometimes when I'm looking around, it's starting to look pretty empty around the club level.
Lee, that's a good point. But at the same time, I feel like by the middle part or towards the end of the first half, that's your peak time. I'd love to see in the seats, but I think right there, if you looked at a bar graph, that's the peak time.
Because I mean, we sit in the press area, and it looks. I mean, I'm not gonna be like it's either more or less, but I'd say that looks about 30,000. There has been one time where I don't know if this number is right.
But I'll tell you what, you should count it for us on Saturday.
Yeah, I will. I'll get there early and count everybody.
We'll get them one of those clickers.
Yeah, the whole Top Bin crew will be at one corner of each side of the stadium, and I'll have everybody counting everybody who's coming in.
This is a good question, and this also links to how the club was sort of brought to Charlotte, right? Let's party, let's get ready to party, and then how much does the club's heavy drinking culture play on this?
I don't know. I don't think this question relates. Listen,
no, if the players were drinking heavy,
what you mean?
What? What'd you say?
England, they drink at every stadium. Everybody gets drunk at every stadium.
I'm talking about for the players and the stuff that's going on with Andre and that.
Oh, you mean it's a culture of?
Yeah, it's we've kind of I mean, you said it plenty of times, Jorge. Sometimes you go out and you see these guys out and about, and having a good time. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't expect them to stay at home on a Saturday night or a Sunday if they're not playing, right, and not enjoy their life. But there's
Yeah.
some sort of professionalism that needs to be taken into account here.
Here's the thing that's changing in MLS when it comes to culture, right? A couple of years ago, if teams weren't playing well or if they weren't doing good, certain areas, certain MLS teams, like there's no pressure, right? There's no pressure to succeed. There's no pressure to perform. Zlatan came here and said that with LA Galaxy, remember, a couple of years back. I think now we're seeing, because this league is growing and because MLS is growing as well, that standard is being raised, right? Like people aren't okay with the team being in 14th place. People aren't okay with, the product that's being produced, uh, and they're showing up consistently. And fair to them, I love it that people are voicing out their opinions, right? Whether they're right or wrong, that's another thing. But like players, the coaching staff, the front office have to feel the pressure of a fan base if they want people to continue to show up, right? If you don't want people to show up, you shouldn't care, right? But if you want people to continue to come, you have to give them a better product.
But
Exactly.
we interview plenty of people that say, and like you said, Lee, we hit different as fans, as football fans, and the idea being that they will show up no matter what. But the question to that is, how many are the real fans? Is it like 15,000 real fans, and the rest are there for the party? And if they're really like,
I tell you what, I think the best thing that Charlotte's got going on for it, Charlotte FC's got going on, that when our season's going on, there really isn't much other sports or major events happening, right? So it's kind of like, and then it's over by 10:30 now, right? And then the younger crowd can run off and go to the club or do whatever they're going to do, right? Get it? Yep. So this is kind of this should be said as well, right? It's important to say that our assistant coaches are also inexperienced as well. So there's a lot of inexperience going on at the coaching level, right? Versus what we kind of had at the beginning of last season, I would say.
Not to mention that point came from someone whose name is Metric of Success.
Who here, man? Hit that sub button for
it. That's some straight ass data name right there. Like, man, I'm Metric of Success, and I'm telling you,
we have to protect Sir Minty at all costs. But I mean,
he's in his own protection glove.
Oh, geez,
his legs are vulnerable, but his internal organs and everything, he could survive. He can go turtle style, go inside, and just roll away until someone comes and saves him.
Yeah, I mean, it's an inexperience. I think it's a little bit of both, right? Not knowing when to kind of give up of what's not working and trying to force it to work. So, I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I would give him a little bit of rope to hang himself, as you put it, JT, but I still think he still needs to be kind of questioned on what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially if we sit 14th in the league.
I know. Right? Well, we're tied on points. The only thing that's got us is that we got more wins than Red Bulls.
Yeah, and I mean, we've got similar metrics to Montreal, who lost their best player in Georgie, who lost the coach, who's now at Columbus doing well. They've lost a lot of key pieces, right?
Yep.
We added, and in theory, we should have improved, and we're right there with them.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm just glad we don't have to play SKC, man. Because then, if we played them, we would definitely be way down in the dumps, man. They probably beat us. I feel bad for their fan TV guy. I mean, his stuff's hilarious, but it's sad to say. I mean, we're trying to finish 9th out of what, 14 teams, 15 teams.
Come on, dog. If we can't finish 9th out of 14 teams, what are we doing?
It's like you can't make the playoffs. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know, man. So it's just crazy. It is. When we play the Red Bulls, it's gonna be out of control, man. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, my dog won't quit messing with me. So
yeah.
No,
sounds like Lee's legs getting humped.
No, I kind of like that. But anyways, talking about that. But we've got a tough schedule coming up too, right? I mean, the next 5 or 6 games out, not even including playing Orlando Tuesday, right? I mean, there's gonna be who do you think we're gonna get points from?
That's a very tough question, bro. I mean, we play New York, we're playing Atlanta, we're playing Chicago, Nashville. LA. I mean, maybe I'm semi-confident on Chicago and semi-confident on LA. I think New York can cook us. I think
Yeah,
Atlanta.
but they're away, right? LA's away.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Who do
saying.
Who do you think can't cook us? It would be my question. If we're this far low in the table, tell us who we can beat.
Maybe Chicago, and that's like a big maybe for me.
Is Chicago at home?
Yeah.
I mean, even then, like I just don't feel comfortable. Like at least last year,
The
we knew
thing
when
is,
we
like,
were at
with this
home.
team, you don't know what to expect. They went and held 3 in Real Salt Lake, who had scored 3 all season. We just went and held 3 at DC, who was not a good team, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Then we beat Columbus, who was coming in here with momentum, right? And
yeah.
so that's my thing. If we're getting beat or cooked by LAFC, Seattle Sounders, Philly, I understand, right? Maybe we're not there
Yeah.
yet, but these are direct rivals to us who are fighting for a playoff spot, who will be in those lower tier playoff spots that now we're reaching for,
Yeah.
and we're getting beat by these teams. And I'm not okay with that, especially in the second season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, to me it sucks. I mean, I'll still show up. I mean, but normally I'm like really hyped about going. I enjoy the tailgate and I enjoy just the hanging out with everybody and just catching up. But it's like, how embarrassed are we going to get against New York this week? I mean, they could embarrass us at home, man. And I tell you, if we lose this weekend, it's just going to be nasty. I might just take a week off of socials this week, man.
Yeah,
Is
you also have to think about it.
Is losing 1-0 an embarrassment? What's the level of embarrassment for you, Lee?
I don't know, man. It's really going to depend on how well we play. Like I said last night, if we come out slow that first 5-10 minutes, I can guarantee you we've lost the game. When we came out fast like we did against Columbus, we were fast, we were quick. We actually showed like we really wanted to win that game, and we did. So it really just depends, honestly, man. And again, I mean, we're trying to play a system I don't think that fits the players. And then, to Latazio's defense, when he turns around, maybe wants to change it up. There's nobody really on the bench to call in that's going to really change the game, in my opinion. And damn, if we're not missing Jaws of all people.
Yeah, I mean, that was my next point too. I mean, we're missing center backs, right? We don't have Corujo. We won't have Chaloma, right? So are we going to see? I mean, obviously he doesn't trust Jan, right? He's sliding Derek Jones in there, right? So we have a heavy problem there,
Yeah.
Also, we're missing our player, in my opinion, who's been the most informed and the most consistent in Yazviak, right? So, I mean, it's like it's looking grayer and grayer as the season continues, right? Now we're not going to be able to count on Nuno anymore. Probably not no Shinyashiki either.
No, I figure Shinyashiki's he's gone. It's just a matter of time. I feel like there's some contract stuff that's probably holding the club back from releasing him. And once that happens, I think he's gone, right? I think
What's going on with Jaws? Where is he? What's happening?
He was injured. He got injured in the US Cup game. He should be back this weekend, right? 7 to 10 days.
He's close to coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Corujo is still TBD. We don't know when.
June, July, I think.
All right.
So this might.
I ask it every time.
Yeah, you do. This question, right? I mean, it's said to be funny, but it holds true in my opinion. The times that we have won, we've had less possession of the ball. I mean, when we play quicker, we're passing it, and we're not really trying to play that possession ball. We definitely seem to get stuck.
Yeah.
Once we get to that last third of the pitch, right? We definitely don't. It seems like we don't know what the hell to do. Like, oh my God, like I'm out here. What's supposed to happen?
And that goes back to personnel versus the style of play.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we can hold possession for days, but we don't do anything with it, right? I mean, the only player that makes good run, that gets into good position, it feels like, when we're attacking that final third is Brandt, right? So he's the only one I've seen make some really good runs.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not to knock Brandt, but I mean, his finishing is not that clinical.
Yeah. So, and I mean, we were starting to see more production from our wingers, right? But now Yazviak is out for at least this next game. And so we're relying more on Vargas, right? And I mean, if you look at that right wing, I think Gaines had a good opportunity to, establish himself a little bit more, and he didn't do that this weekend.
Yeah, and I agree. I think we are when we play direct. I think we are better. I mean, you've seen it,
Oh, yeah.
right? I mean, again, I don't know. I don't know why we don't attack down the middle sometime. I mean, it's like all the teams know now, right, to push us out to the wings and just make sure the cross doesn't come in. And 9 times out of 10, it's not a decent cross, anyways. So there we go, right? So anyway, yes, I know we don't agree on it. We could talk about this offline if you really want to get a conversation. But I mean, again, a lot of news is going around. There's a lot of people saying like who's number 3 and number 4 in it. I'm pretty certain it's not any team. I'm pretty certain it's not a player at this point. Unless
Yeah, this story is
Yeah,
almost
so I mean, like,
3 weeks
so you
old.
also have to think about it too. Like, if there's an accuser, and we already know there's 2 players, right?
Alex.
That's 3 people, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, and if
this
you look
is such a
at
sticky situation,
it is.
right? Because like on one hand, you don't want to condemn the players if it's not true, and on the other hand, you have to respect, like, like somebody, if it's true, you're dealing with someone who just experienced something horrific, right?
Yeah, and I
That's why,
mean,
like, when people like really criticize the club for not saying anything, I'm like, what do they expect them to say right now?
I don't think they can say anything, to be
Right?
honest with you.
Now that it's out, right, and people question them, that's different versus before where they were like, okay, like, why, like, you can't really condemn Andre and Nuno if you don't know the full extent of what's going on, or there's still an open investigation, and you can't come out and defend him either.
Right.
Right.
No, and I mean, it is still an open investigation. From what I understand, it looks like they're processing some, oh, what's the word? Shit, help me, JT. Evidence. So it's
Evidence.
possible
Well,
that
I'll help you with another phrase. If you don't know, you don't know, which is
Yeah.
basically none of us really know unless you're truly involved with the case or you're, whatever. So we're hearing the stories come out. Shit looks bad, obviously, but to your point, we
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, it says it's still open and they're processing some evidence. So it's possible that, they had maybe there's some DNA testing going on. They're just waiting for it to come back, right? I mean, and the police report itself is still ongoing. It's just not an active investigation at this time. So the
Right.
way I understand it is, that means they're probably just looking at the evidence that they have.
Yeah. I mean, Andre came out and made a statement yesterday, but then Nuno didn't come and make a statement out today. Can we
No, he didn't
read?
say a word.
Do we read into that a little bit or no?
I mean,
What did
that's
Andre say?
on
Paraphrased.
Here,
basically like
I have
he's.
it. I have it if you
Go
want me
ahead.
to.
Yeah.
He said, I'd like to address the story that came out today. I fully cooperated with Charlotte Police and MLS in their separate investigation related to the incident, and no charges have been filed against me. I've also been cleared by MLS to play. I have no further comment.
Man, it just sucks. It's like, why the fuck are we dealing with this stuff?
Yeah. I mean,
Damn it. Damn it.
so I mean, well, I mean, Bridget, you say the victim may not want to press charges. I mean, she's the one that did the report, police report. So there's that. But I guess my point is he didn't come out and deny it either. Though, like, to me, I feel like the very first thing I would have said is like, this is not true. Like, I did not, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think if you put out a statement like that,
Yeah.
if he was, in my opinion, he would have been better off not saying anything than this statement that he left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're making kind of some jokes about it with the FC stuff, right? But I mean, God forbid that I honestly hope it didn't happen, and that it's just somebody that was pushing. But again, not victim. I'm not knocking her at all because I know it takes a lot to come forward on something like that. But again, I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like she's after money, clout, or any of that. Because, anyways, right? So I don't know. I guess there's 2 sides to the story, I guess is what it
Yeah, well, but like I said again, if you don't know, you don't know, and none of us. I'm pretty much sure everyone watching this maybe doesn't know. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah.
We will watch, and we will be as close to in the know and report it when it has been vetted from true journalists and such, and we'll see what happens. But again, to my point, it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, right. This is it. This is going to be, and we'll move on from it now after this, right? She filed a police report. She's not afraid of pressing charges, right? So, we'll see what happens. It's going to flush out one way or the other, right? And
and I mean, like, it's just our club honestly just keeps taking L after L. That's the reality, right? From the off pitch to on pitch, like, there's nothing you really can look at right now and point to say, hey, let's distract you at least with a winning team, right? Because we don't have that either.
No, we don't. I mean, that's what Sean's saying, right? The thing is, once this passes, where do we go? I don't know.
I mean, it goes back to like, okay, like what are these players doing? We seriously lack leadership in this squad, right? And so that is something that we do not, that I feel like we don't have, right?
Fuchs and Carrillo.
Ashley Westwood came in, and he's supposed to be part of that, and hopefully he is. But in my opinion, I really didn't like his comment in the post-match presser where he said it's still a young squad. No. This squad has been together now for more than one season, at least the bulk of it, right?
Yeah, the core has.
Yeah, players have come and gone, but you got a team like St. Louis who's cooking right now, right? And they're not making any excuses, right?
Yep.
So I think if he's going to be the guy that leads this team, he has, I don't know, he's vocal enough, but he also has to come out and say to us, listen, like, it may not be great right now, but we are going to change this, right? Start giving people some hope, right?
Yeah. No, and hope is what we need for sure. Real quick, if you want to enter the giveaway, hit hashtag drunk minty in the chat and you'll be entered. And if you're new to the show, hit the sub for us. But yeah, I mean, so I agree, right? I mean, the summer window is going to be a big statement on which way they really want to take this club.
I mean, I think it's also going to depend, right? Like, if we're 15th, right, which we could very possibly be, right? What do you prioritize there? Do you prioritize getting rid of dead weight or trying to get players? Because you also have to think about MLS has caps. Yeah. MLS, like, it's not as easy as, all right, like, let's overhaul the squad, right?
Oh, and that's fair. I mean, it's definitely not like Europe, right? That's for sure. But I mean, there's still some key positions that I think we need to fill. Left back being one of them, right?
Right.
Maybe a true CDM would be nice.
What's CDM? Center defensive midfielder.
Yeah. There you go, JT.
And
you hang out long enough with the knowledgeable people, you pick some stuff up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think the plan is always to slot in Petkovic in there, right? I mean, you don't play.
But when?
You don't pay $3 million to get
I agree with that, but when are you going to do it? Do you bring him up in that window?
I don't know, because I think with Crown Legacy, if they're signed for Crown Legacy, they're allowed to go up 4 times.
Yeah. Right? But I mean, can't they transfer, or that's it?
That's where we have to like get more details, and I'm trying to get details on the Nuno deal. Does that free up a roster slot, and can they move up Petkovic?
Well, they said he was traded. I mean, the club said
that's what traded. I'm saying, but you know how MLS is.
But I feel like that would have to use the word traded, right? Meaning he's gone to Legacy, to me would be a permanent move, at least for the season. That should clear up a spot. Some of you MLS gurus out there, put it in the chat if we trade our player down to Legacy.
Yeah, but this is the thing too. Like, now we're dealing with MLS Next Pro rules as well.
Yeah.
Right. So because in theory, any Charlotte FC player can go down without needing to be traded. But the fact that he was traded to the team implies that there's something else that's going on.
Yeah.
Or he was loaned. Yeah. Traded isn't the right word. Loaned.
Oh, no. I think the club said traded, though. I thought I read the club said we traded. So it was on Twitter. So, anyways. Yeah. And I don't know. Is this true? I haven't looked this up. We got 32 first-team players and 30 is the total roster.
I don't know. I mean, I would have to count everybody.
Yeah. All right. So I misspoken, but I'm pretty sure I read traded. So somewhere. Somebody was traded somewhere today that I read.
You damn right, Lee.
Yes. So, anyways, crazy stuff, man. So hopefully, let's talk about the DC game. Seems like a good subject to talk about, right? Another 3-0 loss to DC.
Oh,
We did that
man.
last season too.
I mean, yeah, again, I mean, we started off playing decently, right? I mean, there was a ball that that Swiderski passed to passed to Vargas that I feel like if he would have done a better job at like controlling it, he could have had a better opportunity to score. That could have changed the game, right? You know,
That penalty was weak, though.
that penalty was weak, but even after that, it goes back to some of the stuff that we talk about with this team. They fold so quickly. A fool in his clearance for the second Benteke goal. Terrible clearance, right?
I mean, that's rookie mistake there, man. You learn that when you're like 9 or 10.
And so there's nobody also like with the lack of depth. You can't look to the bench and bring somebody on that can make a difference. I mean, I love Chris Hagar, but he's still young, right?
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
some of the changes, again, this is the stuff that you can start blaming Latanzio on. The tactical changes that don't work, stuff that sometimes we don't understand. Why'd you take Vargas off and leave Gaines?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair statement. No, it is. You know, some of the subs, I'm always questioning the subs for the most part. It's either too late or the wrong ones, in my opinion. But, you know, again,
Well, it still seems like a constant, just, you know, this constant turmoil or mixing up of we don't have our starting team. We're not solid. We're not.
Yeah.
We just don't have a team, though. We don't have a team to gel together.
We're better with Derek Jones in the midfield than as a center back, right? And if, like, I don't know, they don't rate Jan, fair enough, but you've put Byrne in there. He's made a mistake that led to a goal. You've put Jones in there. He's made a mistake that led to a goal, right? So, I mean, at this point, right, you really don't have that many options.
I mean, what is Jan doing wrong, though? I mean, even for the legacy, I wouldn't really rate him either. You know, I mean, he seems just slow.
Right, but who can we rate in our center?
We can't rate.
We don't have two center backs right now that you say.
Who would you honestly rate, though, in the team? Who would you honestly rate in the team itself?
Right now, the only person would have been Yazviak, who's had a decent season.
Vargas, maybe.
But
that's it. We've had who at Marks?
Swiderski comes and goes, right? I think when we see a better Swiderski, we see a better Charlotte FC, right? But he too has been inconsistent.
Yeah, and that's the problem with him. He's too inconsistent, right? I mean, if he's making that DP money, you expect him to at least show up 75% of the games, not 50.
Well, how hard is it for players like Swiderski to be here for 6 weeks and then go and play for the national team for 3 weeks and then come back for 2 weeks and then go? That's the craziest thing about soccer.
These boys, I mean, it's no different than playing in Seattle.
What do you mean?
The distance, right? I mean, what's the difference, right? I mean,
well, my point would be he would go to Seattle for 3 weeks. You know,
they're pros. They're used to being like moving around all the time, right? I mean, they're pros. It's what they do.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like most like in NFL, Major League Baseball, whatever in America, it's like if you're on the team, you're there all season. You're not leaving to do anything else.
Trent kind of nails it though. He probably likes playing because he plays in his actual position, right? That's why I keep saying, let's just do a 4-4-2. What have we got to lose? You know, put him next to Enzo. Let them just play off of each other. And
we haven't brought up Capetti. I heard a stat the other day that Capetti hasn't even had a shot on goal in the last 6 games or something.
I don't know, man. His first touch is questionable, though. I'd say that about a lot of them.
But he literally hasn't even had a shot on goal in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is, right? And, I mean, we're super streaky, right? I don't know. This, again, it could be one of those trap games, right? New York just comes in there thinking they're going to win, and we take them. I would love to get the 3 points at least. You know,
that's good. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. No idea. Anyways, moving on to New York. I mean, I guess we can expect the same that we've been dealing with, right, for most of the season. The same sort of lineup, the same sort of starters.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a team that's in the upper half of the MLS table, right? And they've lost players, right? So I think that's where it comes down to like an identity, and when you have like a core group of players, right? And which
Yeah.
New York does, and they've got some guys that can hit us. So it'll be it's it's just one of those games where like I don't know what to expect from this team anymore, but my
No, it's
confidence in what we can produce is not there. You know,
and I agree with that 100%. I have no confidence in this team.
if they're already folding with one little hurdle that happens during a game, imagine them now going into this game with, the Andre situation, the Nuno situation, people mad at Latanzio, wanting him out, like people upset that we're second to last in the East, right? So there's so many factors
What
now.
are the fans supposed to do with that, right? I mean, again, we pay one of the highest price tickets in the league.
Hmm.
If you're outside the supporter section and the Centene section, you're paying PSLs, right? It's $15 a beer. Popcorn is like $8 a bucket. It's like $4 or $5, maybe $6 for a bottle of water. I mean, we're paying a hefty price to be in that stadium and watch a piss poor performance. I mean, are the fans wrong to be upset? What I
No,
mean,
they're not. They're not. They are 100% in their right to be upset at the club,
yeah.
right? I mean, you're not your product on the pitch is not there, right? Like
Who's to blame for that
you
though? Is
don't
that
pay
good as Warren?
you don't go and pay, I don't know, like I mean, you don't pay for Chick-fil-A service and then get McDonald's service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, the prices are ridiculous. But again, I mean, that's it. I mean, again, this is true. Alex just pointed out the club came out the gate before we even played a game, before we even had a squad built, saying we're going to the playoffs. So they set this bar high right from the get go, and I kind of understand maybe not making it last year, but like this season, as we said, like
Yeah.
this
MLS
needs
is
to
just
be
going to
more.
keep setting the bar lower and
Well,
lower.
I think the expectations last year were slightly different than they are this year, right? Last year, Miguel kind of tried to humble us and say that our team was crap.
Right?
But
He wasn't too far off.
no, because we competed till the end, right? If we
Yeah.
were if we would be right now where we were last year, right? If you flip the after 10 games where we're second to last, I would have been like he was 100% right, right?
Yeah.
But last year we were more competitive, right? You saw in certain games with the squad that we had, right? We fought to the last minute, right? And we were close to making playoffs. This year is where that expectation increased and the team has folded.
I,
Right.
I think the point, like y'all made earlier, is leadership. With Carujo not in the picture, with Fuchs, he's a coach, but he's not a player. He's not on the pitch. I think we just don't have
No,
any
no, no,
good
no. But they
leadership.
sold us. They sold us. There's champions in every line. There's MLS Cup champions in the defense. There's Greek champion Swiderski. You've got a midfield with a lot of experience, right? I mean, they showed that there's championship mentality in every line of this squad. I'm not seeing it.
I
Are
think it
y'all
gets
seeing
checked
it?
at customs, man. I think at
And
customs they must be like, you can't bring that in here,
communication.
and they just take it away. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I
I
mean,
mean,
you
I'm
can be a
glad that
champion doesn't mean you're a good leader.
I'm not. This is
no,
what they were. This is what was
this is what
selling.
the club's being tell us. Yeah.
I
So
understand. I understand.
Right? So the product on the pitch has to get better. The squad has to start playing better, right?
I mean, this is exactly how I feel. There is no chemistry on that pitch. There isn't, right? And this year it does feel like pieces to me. I mean, I'm just it's boring as hell to watch. Like I'm having more fun just like screaming and trying to get the crowd
Yeah.
going, singing the chants more than
I
watching
mean,
the game, to be honest with you.
the good thing that Charlotte FC has done, and I think people see this, is the average fan is gonna go out there and have a good time, right? They're gonna they're gonna drink, they're gonna see fireworks, they're gonna see, people dancing to pepas, right?
Flashing lights.
So it's an environment that pulls you in, right? And
Yep.
so, but we're gonna see how long that lasts if the product of the pitch is not improving.
It is. It's not improving. If anything, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
One thing I want to bring up, and it always seems like at the beginning of every second half, because if you're a fan and you're like, oh man, like last game, the first half was so boring. The home game and Columbus, whatever. But if at halftime, if they come out so slow and get their ass kicked out the gate at halftime, I'm like, what is happening? Why are you not making changes or scheming or whatever after what you've seen your team do at the first half? It's like we're doing the opposite and just always consistently seem to be worse in the beginning of second halves. That's what
I'm saying though, about how I can tell within the first 5 or 10 minutes we're going to win the game, because that's how we do the first half too, right? And then typically what happens is the other team scores, and then all of a sudden we want to play a game of football. I just don't get it.
And that's not even always the case, right?
But after they score, we don't.
Yeah.
No, I mean we could see that in DC. We just sort of self-destruct further.
Right, St. Louis.
Yep. I mean, this is it. We're all having a good time.
Real Salt Lake.
Enough. What's that?
DC, St. Louis, Real Salt Lake, Atlanta.
Oh, Real Salt Lake.
I can't think of one game where 70 to 75% of that game we were like, you know what? We deserved it. We've seen halves. We saw the first half against Columbus, and we saw a second half against Toronto.
Maybe the New England game.
I don't know. I don't think we played well that game.
No, I'm not saying we played well.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There hasn't been a game where we've played well for 70 to 75% of it.
Fair. I don't know, man. Like, what are the fans supposed to do? I mean, that's they're talking about here,
We were great against Tormenta.
That's a true statement. That is a true statement. We were solid, man.
Hey, yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
You were right, Mendoza. We were great against a 10-man third division team.
Yeah, and we lost 2 of our starters too, right? So I mean, that we sacrificed them to the football gods, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it's going to be sad to see. Like, it's like I don't want Charlotte FC to be a typical Charlotte sports team. Like,
I hate that. I hate that phrase. Because you know what? Honestly, like I don't follow any other team. Like,
oh, I don't either.
Hornets or Panthers, right? And I'm like, I don't want it to be like that, right? I want us to be our own thing. I want us to be a successful team, to be compete. That's what none of us want to sit here and talk about, cases and all this random stuff that's going on. We want to see a good product, right? At the end of the day, right? Like I love seeing Barcelona do so well in La Liga.
All right, so I mean, let's play along with me at home, folks. If you're Zoran or Jorge, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? You're making the decision, right? Your decision is new players, let go of players, Latanzio. This is
the
your
very
club.
First thing you have to do, especially as a front office and a guy that's leading, is come out and say, hey, listen, I understand that it has not been good enough. We are going to make changes to make sure that this is good enough, right? Like acknowledge that it hasn't been good, right? That's the first thing you need to do, right? Then you say, hey, we have plans to change this. Whether you guys believe it or not, trust us. We want to show you guys that we want to put a product out there. Saying that at least says, you know what? They acknowledge that they haven't been great and they want to do something about it, right? That's the very first thing. Second thing, start getting rid of these players that aren't fitting this system, right? Start getting rid of players with all this extra stuff going on, right?
Like who? Who are we getting rid of?
I mean, honestly, whether Andre and Nuno are innocent or guilty at this point, it's better to move them on because now they've got this negative cloud over them.
Yeah, that's 2. Who else?
Right? I mean, you start finding now, right? Get a proper left back, get another center attacking mid. I mean, MLS, the best teams in MLS have a baller center attacking mid. Look at Austin. I know they're not doing great, but when Drusy came in, he changed the whole dynamic of that team. We don't have anyone in this club that can change the dynamic of this team. Nobody in the only one that can kind of do it is Swiderski, but Swiderski is not a vocal leader. He's more of a leader that will show you with his style of play.
Well, I mean, to be fair to Westwood, I think he he was hurt, right, for a range of games. I think he's going to be the vocal player on the pitch.
Yeah,
right?
but before that, I mean, we were still losing with him on the pitch.
He only played like 2 games though, right?
For like 3.
And how many we played total? 10.
Yeah.
So we had what?
So
6.
four games. He's been in 4 out of 10 games, and we've lost them all.
Yeah. Yep. There's that. Oh man, it just sucks, man. We're pissed off. I just don't know if it's just do we flush?
No, the first thing you have to do, like I said, players, coach, front office, give people something to believe in. Nobody even those post-match press conferences, people said, Merriam looked like he didn't want to be here. Ashley Westwood didn't spark any confidence. Latanja with some of his pressers isn't sparking any confidence.
I mean, how do we spark confidence unless we're winning on
you
the
acknowledge that we haven't been good. When have you heard any press conference from any player or coaching staff or front office come out and say, we know this is not how we want to play. This is not what we want to do. You've kind of heard it, but not in a not with conviction.
I want one of the players come out and say, look, we've been shit all season, right?
Bro, you know how much that would be like, you know what? Thank you for acknowledging it to us. Yeah. But instead it hasn't been that bad. We've only lost 2 out of the last 6 games. We're second to last in the East. You're second to last. That is the reality.
No bueno.
But I keep trying to think, like, what could we do with what we got? Like, at least make it until the transfer window open. Like, what can we do? I mean, who's going to come in?
When does the transfer window open?
Like June or July, like right after. I think it's like a week or so after, like Europe kind of, and it's on par with Europe. So
we get some transfers. Carujo comes back. What's the deal with Tuoloma? What's his story?
He's hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt.
How much longer? How long he's going to be out for?
They haven't said yet.
I'm thinking maybe in like mid-June.
That's the other thing.
Everyone comes back.
But I mean, that's the other thing that kind of, and I don't know if it's just because I'm not looking in the right place or not. But hey, Charlotte, like, why don't y'all put out like a injury list somewhere that we can look and see in progress? Like, give us something, right? To look forward to.
They do. I mean, they just don't give you the timeline, which is kind of fair enough because I mean, you really don't know, right? When
they could still say 6 to 12 weeks. At least kind of give us a range.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, damn it.
At least with Jaws, they told us 7 to 10 days.
Yeah, that's only because he was coming right back, apparently. Hopefully he'll be fit for Saturday's game because
I don't think he will.
You don't think so?
No.
We're gonna throw him back in against Orlando and he get hurt again?
Most likely. What if somebody say we can't play on natural grass? It hurts our players.
Natural grass is hurting us, right?
Yo, that was funny.
That's it, man. So yeah, and I mean, we do need a coach. I mean, Latanzio seems like he's an easygoing, genuine guy, like outside of the sport world. But I think
I know he may not seem like the most. He doesn't have that Miguel spark, but I think one thing that he does still have is that locker room, right? I mean, you saw it with Yazviak going and running to him and hugging him after his goal, right? Yep. Our most consistent player this season still believes in the coach, right? So to me, that's a spark of
you're saying that Carroll's the most consistent player?
Camille.
Oh, okay.
Camille.
I thought you said Carroll. Sorry.
If I did. I don't remember now. But
no, you said Jaws.
I was right. Lee's just trying to distract me.
Oh, I honestly thought.
Right. He's trying to run you off the rails, man.
Plus, I'm reading comments, so maybe I just read Carroll and thought
he's distracted himself, buddy.
Yeah, but no, you're right. I mean, it's a hot mess, and if we lose this weekend, man, it's just gonna suck.
Hey, before we get in, I was looking earlier. It's kids' night out this game. So, and there's a halftime light show. Oh man, make sure you get your fun goggles on. And there's a giveaway for kids under 12. Do not pretend to be a kid under 12. Just let the kids get the giveaway. Greedy bastards.
But that's all we got to look forward to is the giveaways, man. We got nothing else. Tepper's
Like,
trying to
dude,
buy
What
man.
did
us
you
up,
say?
man.
Everyone's gonna be fighting for that Bronico bobblehead.
Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous, dude. People are gonna be getting cut, man. It's gonna be watch. It's just gonna be nasty, man. Because the way they did the bobbleheads last year, it just sucked in itself, giving those away, right? It's just and this is true. Where is it? This one. I'm under 12. Nobody has seen my face. That is very true. He's a very deep talking 12-year-old, for sure. Yeah, and that's it, man. The team.
Should not be driving.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. But yeah, I mean, if we did let Latanzio go, who's coming in? Who honestly, realistically, could we
We
get?
need to let him have a full, complete season.
Let's bring in Frank Lampard, bro.
That man is he's gonna relegate Chelsea, man, if he has his way. That man is terrible, man. Don't bring him anywhere near my club, man.
Bro, bring in Gerard, bro. Stevie G.
You know, I wouldn't mind. I think at this point, maybe somebody with a little bit of MLS experience would hurt.
Chris Armas. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Nope. It's just a mess, man. Hashtag drunk.
And I also think that Crown Legacy is putting indirect pressure to that first team in charge.
100%. 100%. That's how everybody's starting to talk about the legacy now, right? I mean, we were talking about the legacy, but like that seems to be everybody's focus because at least it brings us some sort of joy.
Yeah, for sure. But then again, like you got to put it into perspective. Like you got guys like Nuno, Vinny, Petkovic going against academy kids, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you expecting, right?
Yeah, I mean, true. I mean, like you said, there's a couple of players that definitely were bought for the first team, right? It's just a matter of time. But I don't know, man. I'm telling you, if we lose Saturday, other than posting the fan interviews and posting the new link for next Wednesday's show, I'm probably just gonna stay off of socials for a week. I need a mental break, man. This team's bringing me down.
We still got the beauty.
Man, come on. We can come on. It's not over. We're not even halfway.
I'm not saying it's over. I'm just saying it's just.
I know, but you gotta get.
You don't know JT. Hey, everybody, start tagging JT on Twitter or something so he starts joining the conversation.
Bullshit.
Then he'll understand.
Hey, what does suck though is it's the weather's been so nice here in Charlotte.
It's gonna rain Saturday.
And you look at the 3 day. I never pay attention to weather more than 3 days out. And it looks like it's supposed to rain on Saturday. I'm like, come on, man.
Yep. I'm sorry.
Anyway.
Give us number 6 on your list, JT.
Number 6. Let's see. What's going on with the TIFO committee? Is anyone out there doing anything with TIFOs, paying attention?
Yes, they are doing TIFOs, right? The problem is last year we did one for every game, and that wasn't supposed to be the way it was. I believe there's been some changes by ops in the fire department, and it's just not cost effective to do one every game that comes out of our funds, not the club's funds, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And
that's what I always wondered about that because it seemed like so much work.
And it's not also like they have like 100 people that they can count on to go out there.
It's the same group of people that show up week in and week out, man, doing that painting. So yeah, if you want to get involved, if you're not already, TIFOs are coming, right? It's just go out there and paint for a night. Take the kids out, they're finishing the TIFO tonight. So
exactly.
Make sure while you're out there, you put us up on your phone so you can listen to what we're
None of those people get paid to do that, right? They do it out of their free will and they volunteer that time.
Yeah, right. And we volunteer our time like you're volunteering your time for the most part too, Jorge. And it's like, having people bitch at us because we're not professionals. We've never said we were professionals, by the way.
I don't care. We're never. Listen, my people, they already know. You guys have free will. As long as you're not doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
Saying stuff you shouldn't be saying that could be like detrimental to just you. Like, go ahead. You have free range to do whatever you want.
Yeah. That's it, right? Basement bloggers. And then I'm getting told that we're not putting fans because we wasn't going to break the news for what was going on with Andre and Nunes. It's like, I didn't feel like it was our place to say.
Yeah, and plus we don't know the details of that. Imagine if we would have came out and said, X, Y, and Z is happening when we don't know 100% for sure, and now we just damaged the career of a player.
Yeah, right. And that's exactly right.
And that's not cool. And guess what? We're cool, man.
So,
For the
Yeah.
fans, by the
and
fans.
to be fair, that's like 5 to 10 people that are,
Yeah, I think it's more
Twitter
prevalent this week
warriors.
just because of what's been going on. But
Lee, maybe I just need to sub in for you. Tag team,
said.
come
That's
in,
what I said.
come in for a week on Twitter. Let me just be us on CLTFC Fan TV, or at CLTFC Fan TV, and
Hell,
just
you're
give
welcome.
you a break, brother. Just give you a break, man.
Yeah.
It seems like it's getting to you.
No, it's just been I mean, there's a lot going on, right? It's just
It's all good. They can stay on. They're good. They're helping.
yeah, I
And
mean,
don't
I
forget
guess
everybody.
I think I've heard one time they said you're not really making waves if you're not don't have any haters. So y'all go ahead and keep hating because we're gonna keep doing what
For real. But just hate under our comment section though to help with
we right, and retweet or quote us and
Yes.
right, quote us and then hate on us, right?
Yes, mother.
Don't spin up your own thread. So yeah, Look
So
at that.
don't forget hashtag
That's what it's all about, right there.
minty. Drunk
Hey,
minty.
appreciate that, Teddy.
Yeah, hashtag drunk minty if you want to enter the giveaway. All right, JT, you guys out there too. Again, if you're new to the show, please hit that sub button, and all you regular OGs, man, hit that like button. JT, hashtag score. Give me the score for this weekend. What do we think? I'm not gonna ask you who scored. Just give me the score.
2-1 New York.
2-1 New York. Interesting. Jorge.
Y'all influenced me to feel bad about it.
Come on, JT, you got to be positive.
Hey, you're the shining light on this show, man. You're the shining light.
I'm wearing
You
the
have to believe in the
Leafs
team,
feeling
bro.
bad.
You have to say, you know what?
Jesus,
We
man.
could do something. Maybe something can happen. My score prediction is we lose 2-0.
2-0. 2-1 us. I'm going to go through some of these, see what the consensus is. Draw coming up. 20-0. Yep. Definitely, I can see that happening. Drunk Minty to enter. 2-1. Last time, Owen, if you win tonight, man, then we're just going to have to rig it because, this is never rigged, right? 2-1 Charlotte. Let's see. 1-0, 1-0. This guy. You know what? You're actually starting to grow on me, though, Esteban, man. It's taking you about a year and a half, man. We're gonna become friends one day. I can feel it. 1-0 Charlotte. I think we're gonna lose 3-1.
Chill, Brian.
Brian, is that what he said?
Huh? No, keep going.
What's that?
Nothing. Keep going. My bad.
Oh, he's texting you. No, I'd say I think we're gonna lose 3. And then everybody's going to start bitching at Marks about Marks, and it's going to get into that Kalina battle. That's our next rage of coming up next week.
We haven't talked about that at all tonight, which is kind of.
I mean, I think Mark starts. He's got no reason not to start. So yeah, like QC Yavi says, man, we're about to get 3 scores. It's the standard this season. Yep. But you know what, though? This is what I want us to sing if we start losing. Just start singing that, we lose every week. You're nothing special every week. That would be awesome if we could, just to have some fun out there. So anyways, let's go ahead and do the giveaway.
Oh, we'll have fun.
We always have fun. Matter of
you said it, Lee.
All right, last couple seconds. Hashtag drunk minty to enter. Yes. 5, 4, 3.
Good luck.
Come on, Owen.
Yeah, right.
Jose Ortiz, congratulations, my man. You can either reach out to us on wherever you follow us on social or Defend the Queen. So thanks to Defend the Queen and Adam for doing what he does for the show and all his artwork, man. If you check him out, he has a little stool. What's it called? A tent out there at the tailgate. So
he's got a little stool. He sits on the stool. And
I think that's what we call it in England, right? So, yeah, we lost this week. That's right. It's rigged. So, yeah, man, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We really do. We're not going to go anywhere. We're going to be here until I guess until we move away from Charlotte, or the kids take over, one of the two. So
listen, if Messi comes to MLS, I'm dipping.
We're on a contract for another 10 years.
hey, Michael, have her put Fan TV as the name on the back too, please. Thank you. So yes. Anyways, so with that being said, Jorge, where can people find you?
They can find us at Top Bin 90 on all our socials, Real Top Bin 90, and also Si Hablas Español, Top Bin 90 en Español.
See.
Bueno. Muy bueno.
Facebook plug on the back. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, man. So JT, where can people find us at, man?
At CLTFC Fan TV on the socials and YouTube and Instagram. And I think Lee, you said you actually put something up on TikTok.
Yeah, when I remember.
CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans who are feeling good. Let's bring the positivity. I'm changing it.
I'm positive that we are not in a good spot right now.
Yes, I know you're positive about that, Lee. And I'm positive that I'm changing it up. 2-1. Charlotte FC wins.
Damn. All right.
Woo! Woo!